In this video, I'm going to review graphing inequalities with two variables. So question number one, we're going to choose the option that shows the solution as a shaded region. So let's take a look. So whenever we're graphing inequalities, we first need to figure out how to graph the line, and this is already in slope-intercept form for us, so that makes it a little easier. So we have, let me see, our slope is 1/2 and our y-intercept, right, is -3. So first we're going to just check, and it looks like all the lines are the same, right? It's intersecting at 3, at y equals -3. And then 1/2 means it's going to go up 1 and over 2. So go up 1 and over 2. So all of these are already doing that. So we have the same line. It's just a matter of figuring out the type of line and the shading. So whenever we have greater than or less than, we know it's going to be a dashed line. Whenever it has that equal, we know it's solid. So we need that extra line under here for a solid. So we don't have that, so we know it's dashed. Not only that, we see that it's greater than. So y greater than, that means we're going to shade above our line. So it needs to be dashed and above, and it looks like it's this one right here. So D, so the correct answer here is D. So let's move on. So we have a system here. So now we have two. So we have y is less than x, and then 3x minus 5y is less than equal to 30. I personally find it easier to figure out how to shade when it's in slope-intercept form. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite it, and we see that we have different types of lines too. So if you want to quickly just check to see, okay, which ones you can eliminate, you can do that, right? Because clearly it's either one or the other. Y equals x, that's when I could see it's going through the origin, right? Our intercept or y-intercept is going to be 0. It looks like they each have y equals x graphed. Okay, we need to figure out dashed or dotted, dashed or solid, and above or below, so we can kind of look out for that. But this line right here, I will have to rearrange to figure out which one of these it should be. I know just from standard form, it's going to intersect the y-axis at, right, this number divided by 3. So 30 divided by 3 is 10. So it's going to intersect the x-axis at 10. And it's going to intersect the y-axis at 6. 30 divided by -5 is 6. Actually, -6. So I know it's going to be something down here, something like this, right? 10 and -6. It cannot be this one, right? That's impossible. So I know it can't. I could just eliminate. It can't be that one. It can't be this one. It's the same thing. So let me see. Intersects at 10 and -6. It could be one of these two, right? So it has to be. This is clearly the line. So remember our x-intercept. It's 30 over 3, which equals to 6. So I know it's 6, 0. And my y-intercept will be 30 over -5, which would be negative. Oh, I'm sorry. This is 10. I just said that. That's really bad math. I apologize. I did it correctly the first time. 10, 0, which is -6. I had the negative already. I'm really messing up. So this is at 0, -6. Right? I could quickly get these 2 points for standard form. However, do I shade above, below? Which one is it? So in order to do that, I like to get it into, it's hard for me to figure it out this way. So I get it into slope-intercept form, which means I get y by itself on one side. You can also test a point. That's a little, actually, let me do that. I think that's quicker. So you can pick one point, and if you pick that point and it makes the equation true, that means you need to shade that point. So let's see, we pick 0, 0. I think that's an easy point to plug in, right? What if x equals 0 and y equals 0? Is that point shaded or not? If it's true, we're going to make sure we shade the origin. If it's not true, we're going to make sure we don't shade the origin. And that's 0, 0. So let's see. So if we plug 0 in for x and y, we're going to get 0 is less than or equal to 30. Is that true? That's true. That means when we're shading, we want to make sure we shade the part that includes the origin. So we're definitely going to shade above the line. So that's going to be both. And not only that, we see that it's less than or equal to, we know we're going to have a solid line. So This one has a solid line, so we want to include this one. And let's see, the top one was a dash line, so right, it doesn't have that equals to below it, so it's dash. And this is just all wrong, right? We have our solid and our dash lines reversed, so it is D. So I'm showing a couple of techniques. You can pick a point to see if it makes it true. You can plug it in. You could also rewrite this in slope-intercept form. I threw out the idea, and then that can let you know shade above or below. But then also we're looking out for dash and solid lines. Because it's multiple choice, I can do some elimination. If it were open-ended, you would have to get it exactly. Okay, so our next question. You can spend a maximum of $25 for a picnic. You'll spend at least $15 on food and no more than $5 on paper products. Find the amount of money you can spend on food F and paper products P. And we have some graphs here. So let's look at our axes. The y-axis is the money on paper products. The x-axis is the money on food. So P is kind of my y, and then x is my food. So let's see if we can write an expression. So we said 15 on food. So 15, let me just zoom out a little bit so I can see my little tools. Let me see if I can move it up too. It still changes. So let's see. We have 15 times food, whatever we spend, plus 5 on paper. And it says maximum is 25. It has to be less than or equal to 25. Do we have any other information? So no, maximum is 25 for picnic, at least. Oh, actually, let me just go back because it said at least 15 on paper. So I'm doing this and I completely did that wrong. Just clear it. We're going to clear the screen. I made a mistake because I made it into one equation, which we have 3 equations. It says at least 15 on food or maximum of 25 per picnic. So we know F plus P. Whatever you spend on food and your paper products, it has to be less than or equal to 25. I don't know how much, but that's all I know. I know that my food no more, at least $15 on food. So food has to be greater than or equal to 15. And then you said paper products no more than $5. So paper is less than or equal to 5. So I have 3 equations to plot. So F is greater than 15. Food is on my x-axis, so there should be a line through 15, and it needs to be greater than that. That means it could be 16, 20, right? So it must be shading to the right. So I'm just going to check, or I can even draw a line. This is not shading to the right. All others are. I know that paper products must be less than or equal to 5. So on paper products, there should be a line through 5, right? And it has to be less than or equal to that. Well, this is more than 5. We don't want more than 5, right? A shade above. We don't want it to be like 10, so it can't be this one. Here, a shade more than 5, so it can't be this one. Okay, and then finally it says F plus P must be less than or equal to 25. So any point in a region, so if I pick a point, like say I pick this one, so 20 and 0, that's less than or equal to 25, so that works out. But we've already kind of eliminated all of them, so it really is A. But I could just make sure that this works out. And we know we have 2 variables, so it's clearly going to be some sort of line. And we have to make sure that, you're going to spend no more than 25, so the most you can spend on food is 25, the most you can spend on paper products is 25. So we can see that's checking out here. Although when you consider the other conditions, we're really in this little region right here. So our answer here is an A. So here we're going to choose the option that shows the solution of this shaded region. So this is not linear, but the same principles apply. So we're going to still look at the inequality sign. We can look at our expression, decide if they're going to shade above or below, and if it's solid or dash. So I see the less than or equal to, so it's clearly going to be solid. right? You have that equals to, and it's going to be shaded below whatever our curve is. So here we're shading above. We can eliminate some obviously wrong choices, right? Here we're shading above. Here we're shading above, so that can't be right. It has to be below. It's less than or equal to. And now we just need to figure out which of these are correct. If you can remember from quadratics, if we look at the value in front of the x squared term, which we call our a, we can tell what type of shape. If it's positive, it's going to look like a smile. Think positive people smile. If it's negative, it's going to look like a frown. Think about negative people frown. Here it's negative, so it's going to be a frowny shape. So which of these are frowny shape? Well, this one right here. So it's a frowny shape. It's solid. We're shading below. We're golden right here. So the correct answer is C.